there is the chance that I will be bitten. Be prepared. If that happens, there's going to be a lot of blood, so brace yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Hands going in. Start the clock.
No fish other than the shark has driven fear into the heart of humanity like the piranha. Native to South America, there are over 50 described species, and they inhabit pretty much every freshwater system, moving in schools and silently stalking their next victim. I'm no stranger to these toothy fish, and in the summer of 2019, I became witness to their razor-sharp weaponry.
Okay, so getting ready to swim with Cayman, and we're also catching piranha in the process, and I tried to get a picture and had one bite the tip of my finger off. That is a lot of blood. Those teeth are razor sharp. I tried to peel down the lip just a tiny bit and it went like that, and really took a good chunk out of the tip of my finger.
And just in case you're wondering, yes, it hurt. But are these fish truly aggressive? Clearly, if you catch one, put your finger close to its mouth, and try to see its teeth, you will end up like me. But do they have an appetite for human flesh? We're about to find out if I can be eaten alive by piranha. Today I'm in my home city of Columbus, Ohio, and I will be conducting this crazy experiment at Aquarium Adventure. Their impressive 12,000 square foot facility is home to thousands of fish, marine animals, and every size aquarium you can possibly imagine. I am here to visit the resident population of red-belly piranha. The dinner table has been set, so let's get right down to business.
I have to admit, it's pretty intimidating standing behind a tank filled with red piranha. Now, if you look at one of these fish as an individual, it doesn't seem that threatening. But when you see 6 of them swimming around like this, that's what you call a school. And when there's 6 fish, yeah, it definitely gets your heart racing. Now, the big question that we want to answer tonight is whether or not piranha will eat human flesh. But before we do that, first let's take a look at some of the cool anatomical features of these fish. Now, when you look at the piranha's body, they've got a very dominant head. Those big bulbous eyes tell you that these fish have incredible eyesight. But the thing that's most noticeable is that big underbite. That lower jaw tells you that this fish packs a punch when it comes to its bites. The jaw structure is broken down into 4 different sections. And what's so cool about these teeth is that they're interlocking, razor sharp and triangular in form, and they lock together like pieces of a puzzle. Add that together with the shaking and the spinning, and oh buddy, you get attacked by a swarm of piranhas and you're going to be in a very bad situation. And similar to sharks, they replace their teeth throughout the entire course of their lives. But unlike sharks, these entire jaw segments replace themselves periodically, which means that an entire section of the jaw falls out of the fish and then a new section grows right in. In the wild, piranha are considered predators. In many instances, they are opportunistic, which means that they'll feast upon pretty much anything they come across. But it's primarily their sense of smell and their ability to hone in on hearing that makes them such an effective predator. You have to think about where these fish live. Throughout water systems in South America that are oftentimes quite murky. So when the fish can't see its prey, it needs to hone in using smell and sound. Oftentimes, they will attack things that are splashing about. This may signal an animal that is wounded and struggling, which obviously makes for an easier victim. When it comes to attacking large prey items, yes, they have been known to attack things as large as livestock. Of course, humans have been bitten, and close to 200 bites are reported every single year. When you look at the piranha, you think to yourself, okay, obviously with that dentition, it's a predator. But this is not an apex predator. There are many other animals within the piranha's environment that will take the opportunity to feast on one of these fish. Caiman, otters, river dolphins, and even waterfowl like herons and egrets will definitely take the opportunity to eat one of these fish. That's why they move together as a group. When you have a school, you seem bigger and more intimidating, which means you're much less likely to be predated upon. All right, I know what you guys are thinking. Coyote, you're going the long way around the fishbowl. Let's get into the experiment. We want to find out whether or not you're going to be bitten by one or all of these fish. There's 6 of them in there, so I'd say the odds are pretty good. So if you guys are ready, I'm Coyote Peterson, and I think it's time to be eaten alive by piranha. Now, I'm not gonna shake my hands around there and cause a disturbance. I'm gonna gently place them in slowly and see what happens. I'm gonna keep my hands there for 60 seconds. There is the chance that I will be bitten. Be prepared. If that happens, there's going to be a lot of blood, so brace yourselves. Okay. All right, I'm stalling. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hands going in. Start the clock. 60 seconds. They're definitely moving much more with my hands in there than when my hands were not in there. Now, they may be feeling skittish in the presence of my hands. You can see my hand is pretty close there, actually being touched right now by the fish. Fins drifting up against me. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Look at that, look at that. So far, nothing. I'm gonna drift my hands closer in this direction. Okay, my hand, my left hand, and my forearm are completely surrounded by the piranhas. I can feel the tails brushing up against me. Oh man, fish's face is right close to my hand. Oh boy, it feels like I might take a bite. Nope, nope, getting smacked with tails. Hand in the middle of the fish. So my right hand is completely away from the fish altogether, but my left hand is completely surrounded by the fish at this point. Look at that. Right in the school of piranha, no bite happening. Okay. Now that I've sort of gotten over the initial fear and the fact that the piranha are slapping their tails up against me, I'm beginning to feel like they're just gonna ignore me at this point. So far, no bite. And I feel like even if a bite came at this point, it would simply be a curiosity bite to say, what is this in our tank? Is it something that I can eat? Don't feel as if they're going to swarm into one of those frenzies like you would see in the movie where they strip all the flesh. Oh boy. Thought I was about to take a bite there. Just getting smacked by tails. No bites happening. Hands coming out. Woo! Hands shaking a little bit, I will admit that. But absolutely no bites. All flesh still intact. So what we've seen in the Hollywood B movies of these fish devouring human flesh right down to the bone definitely did not happen within this scenario. Okay. Gotta shake off those nerves just a little bit. Man, when the piranha are actually slapping up against your skin, you're thinking to yourself, okay, could that next movement be some of those razor sharp teeth taking a big circular chunk out of your hand or out of your forearm? Okay, so the last test, the ultimate test, is now going to be to hold this fish fillet underwater with my hand and see if they can tell the difference between the fillet and my hand. So this is going to be fish, flesh, and oils mixed together with my hand. Let's see if they go for that. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Hand and fish fillet going back in to the piranha tank. 1, 2. Oh, it doesn't get any easier. 3. Now what I'm doing is actually wiggling the fillet around just a little bit. Try to give them that motion, that movement that, as we've read, piranha are drawn into things that are splashing and struggling. So if I use my hand to make the fillet look like a struggling prey item, will that evoke an attack? They honestly want nothing to do with my hand or the fish fillet. So what I'm gonna do now is drive my hand and the fillet into the school of fish and see what happens. Slowly. You guys hungry? Free feast. Human hand, half price, fish fillet. Free to consume. Anybody even want to try a taste test? Just one little bite. Anybody gonna go for it? 6 fish. 6 fish, 6 chances for a bite. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. At this point, I'm completely at ease with my hand being inside of the piranha's tank. You've got 3 fish on one side, 3 fish on the other. They want absolutely nothing to do with the fish fillet or with my hand. Okay, hand and fish fillet coming up and out of the water. No bites on the fillet, no bites on my hand. Perhaps the rumors that piranha are bloodthirsty, ravenous, flesh-eating killers is nothing more than a rumor. Typically, they're thought of as being carnivores, but truth be told, they're really omnivores. Piranha will eat berries, nuts, and pretty much anything that they can scavenge upon. It's a misnomer in many instances that piranhas will just strip something of its flesh if it's already alive and turn it into a feast. Now, it is fair to say that this is a controlled setting, and these fish have been raised in captivity. So will piranha in the wild behave differently? I'm not sure. Perhaps that's a test that we need to place back out into the wild. So the next step is for us to head to South America, back to the Pantanal, and actually place me into the environment within a school of these fish to determine, will piranha truly eat a human alive? Stay tuned, guys. Part 2 is coming soon. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
Every year, there are said to be around 200 piranha bites in the wild. However, these bites are minor. Generally, these fish are shy and quick to flee, especially if larger animals like a human enter into their watery environment. So while their teeth may be razor sharp, and their notorious reputations always define them as bloodthirsty Hollywood horror creatures, piranha simply desire to be left alone. At some point in life, we have all feared being bitten by a vampire. Thankfully, fear is often replaced by logic, because we know vampires are just creatures from folklore. But if you are a fish living in the Great Lakes, that folklore is a nightmare that is all too real. Speedy, slimy, and armed with a suction-cup mouth full of razor-sharp teeth, the sea lamprey is nature's largest parasitic, blood-sucking creature. And today, we are going to find out just how horrific a swarm of 1,000 sea lamprey can be.
Now, in the past, we tried an experiment to get me eaten alive by sea lamprey. And to do that, we placed my hands into a tank filled with them. But nothing happened. They swam around and I didn't take a single bite. So to up the ante, we induced a suction, which involved me adhering one to my arm, one to my stomach, where you've got some guts, and of course, in horror film fashion style, we adhered one to my neck. Now, the thing was, the second these fish drew blood, they realized that I was a mammal. Not exactly the fish buffet line, which is exactly what they would want to be feeding on. So with our first experiments, what we learned is that sea lamprey do not eat human flesh. Today, we're going to perform something slightly different with 2 new experiments surrounding the concept of fight or flight. Now, this is something that you've probably heard of before in nature. Now, in almost all instances, when you encounter an animal, I'd say almost 100%, an animal is going to flee in the opposite direction. That's called flight. But if an animal finds itself in a situation that it can't get away from, that's where you have fight. You ever hear the phrase, don't back a badger into a corner? That's because badgers are armed with teeth and claws. You get a badger mad, trust me, you're gonna know about it. Now in this instance, we're going to introduce something known as an alarm cue pheromone. That pheromone causes sea lamprey to go absolutely berserk. You're probably wondering to yourself, well, Coyote, are you going to add this alarm cue to these sea lamprey? Yeah, guys, we absolutely are. But first I'm thinking, you want to know what exactly is an alarm cue pheromone? That is a great question.
More than a decade ago, scientists working with the Great Lakes Fishery Commission hypothesized that pheromones, which are natural odors that animals use to communicate, could disrupt the spawning activity of sea lamprey, helping to keep their populations in check. So how and why does it work? Well, at the end of a sea lamprey's life cycle, or during an attack from a predator, they release a natural scent that other sea lamprey interpret as the presence of death or danger. This alarm cue, the same one I am holding, immediately causes healthy sea lamprey to quickly avoid the area, sending them fleeing away from the perceived danger and ultimately pushing them out of certain environments. So what happens when you add the scent of death to a tank full of sea lamprey who have nowhere to run? That's a good question. Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the alarm cue. That concoction right there is basically sea lamprey kryptonite. All right, here we go with the smell test. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. And you want to know something? The sea lamprey has a better sense of smell than I do. I better give one more sniff. Nope, that's it. I can exactly see without question why this would cause sea lamprey to run in the opposite direction. Practically makes me want to run in the opposite direction. Okay, this is it. Time to officially add 250 milliliters of alarm cue. 3, 2, alarm cue. Okay, it's starting to disperse. Whoa, 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 we've got action here. Things are starting to get crazy. Let's put the top back on. Wow, look at them swarming around the GoPro. Holy mackerel, look at this! Absolutely crazy. Seconds ago, before we added the alarm cue, they were completely still and calm. And now they are looking every which direction to try to escape from the aquarium. Whoa! They're hitting the glass. Now you may be thinking to yourselves, Coyote, aren't you gonna stick your hands in there and see if they'll shred them down to the bone, blood and guts and nastiness everywhere? Not quite, guys, because I think that now that we know the alarm cue works, it'll be much more entertaining and far more educational to actually place me into a dunk tank. Yes, that's right, a dunk tank with 1,000 sea lamprey. I go in, the alarm cue goes in, and anything is possible. Stay tuned, because part 2 of this experiment is going to be crazy.
Sea lamprey originally invaded the Great Lakes from the Atlantic Ocean through a series of man-made shipping canals in the 1800s. And without any predators or population control at the time, their numbers exploded. The battle to control invasive sea lamprey in the Great Lakes is hard fought, and the discovery of an alarm cue as a powerful repellent could be one more step toward placing a stake in the heart of these bloodthirsty vampire fish. So what happens when the applicator of the alarm finds themselves in a scenario where the sea lamprey cannot evade the perceived threat? This is the chaos you have been waiting for. And to perform the experiment, I have traveled to Millersburg, Michigan, where I'm once again working with my friends at the Hammond Bay Biological Station, a research laboratory jointly managed by the Great Lakes Fishery Commission and the U.S. Geological Survey. We have set up a classic carnival dunk tank, and it's been filled with 1,000 blood-sucking sea lamprey.
Okay, I am suited up. I have my red solo cup of alarm cue. It's time to get dunked into a tank full of vampire fish. Here we go. There's no turning back now. Beneath me is a dunk tank filled with 1,000 sea lamprey. And I gotta tell you, sitting in the hot seat looking down into them is a whole lot different than being outside of the tank. It's all of a sudden become very real. So here's what's gonna happen. Inside of this cup, I have alarm cue. As we saw earlier, adding alarm cue in with the sea lamprey causes them to go into a complete frenzy. You'll also notice that I'm wearing this brightly red colored life preserver. Now the reason for the life preserver is that if the lamprey attack and they start to adhere to my body, believe it or not, that weight could keep me underwater. So I've got a little tab here that I could pull to help me get to the surface. Hopefully that won't happen, but you never know when it comes to angry sea lamprey. Now, my goal is to stay in here for at least 2 minutes. However, if I'm being bitten and eaten alive, I may not make it that long. Okay, Mario, I'm gonna need you to come into the scene because what's gonna happen is you are gonna actually be the one who deploys me down and into the lamprey. And as soon as he hits that deployment button, the seat will drop and Coyote becomes the buffet line. You guys ready? Take off my flip-flops and I'm gonna put on a dive mask. I have no idea how crazy these lamprey are gonna get, but if we learned anything earlier, there's going to be splashing and tails absolutely everywhere. And for the comedic purposes, I might as well keep my hat on as well, because it'll be fun to see it go down beneath the lamprey. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to be eaten alive by sea lamprey. 3, 2, hit! Oh, they're all around me. Oh, they're definitely biting onto my legs too. Oh, I feel like I am literally in an entire bath of slime right now, being eaten alive by aliens. There's one adhered to my arm now. Look at this. They're biting onto my legs and my arms. Now that I'm not moving, the lamprey have come to a standstill. They've figured out that they're not able to escape, and they're also not attacking, which tells me that even with the alarm cue, sea lamprey are not necessarily going to eat humans alive. So while they may be completely alien looking in design, totally bizarre, and absolute living nightmares as vampire fish, look at that. They have no interest in consuming humans. Even when I was in here, splashing around, thrashing left and right, absolutely nothing. All I wanted to do was simply escape. But what we have learned from the alarm cue is that it is incredibly effective when pushing lamprey in a certain direction. So the work that's being done with this research to drive lamprey out of river systems where they may become detrimental to fish or other native species is something that hopefully will work in the fight against sea lamprey. But when it comes to putting them inside of a dunk tank and getting them to eat a human alive, I can tell you firsthand, guys, it ain't gonna happen. So that tells the sea lamprey they're gonna stick to their diet of fish. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
The battle to defeat sea lamprey in the Great Lakes is ongoing. But with the discovery of an Achilles heel, the sea lamprey's amazing sense of smell, scientists are taking a strong upper hand. By herding sea lamprey into specific areas using alarm cues, we may greatly reduce the need for lampricide treatments. Combined with trapping and cross-stream barriers to prevent spawning migrations, sea lamprey populations have declined by 90%, which ultimately results in healthier Great Lakes ecosystems. If you would like to learn more or have a desire to join the fight against the invasive sea lamprey, contact the Great Lakes Fishery Commission and help keep our lakes free of blood-sucking vampires. Brave Wilderness has become culturally synonymous with animal bites and stings. In the name of science and entertainment, I've taken on my fair share of painful encounters. But some bites are far too dangerous when it comes to human trial. So that is where technology comes in. We have teamed up with Ohio HD, one of the Midwest's premier production houses. Renowned for their arsenal of high-end equipment, they are considered experts in executing creative ideas with specialized solutions. And today, we are combining our talents to bring you into the strike zone.
On this episode, we're going to take you into the slow-motion strike zone of the panther chameleon, the Pac-Man frog, and the alligator snapping turtle.
To capture these predator strikes, we will be using a Phantom high-speed camera, capable of capturing 1,000 frames per second at full 4K resolution. Then, by slowing down the footage, we will be able to closely analyze and break down why these strikes are so effective and ultimately lethal.
Dude, that was sweet.
Also joining our party is the Bolt high-speed Cinebot, which can go from standstill to high-speed motion in a fraction of a second. Yep, it's a robot with a camera for a head that can move faster than a human. Trust me, I was just as impressed as you are. Now, before we enter the strike zone, first, let me introduce our fearless wildlife experts, Mario Aldecoa and Mike Easter. They will help to ensure that everything goes according to plan. Remember, safety for the animals and our crew is always the #1 priority.
There you have it. The cast of characters is set. So if you guys are ready, let the strikes begin. So the panther chameleon is now officially up and onto its perch. We've placed a couple of roaches on the other branches. Now it's just a matter of sitting back, waiting, letting patience draw itself out, and eventually we're gonna get these strikes. Now, if Gilbert doesn't decide to eat the roach naturally off of the branch, we do have a second trick up our sleeve, which is actually holding the roach in a pair of large feeding tongs. He knows it's there. Man, I just love the way that those eyes move from side to side. Honing in. Oh, Gilbert, you're so close. Yes! Yes, that was a strike, right? You got it. And now the moment you've been waiting for. It's time to enter the strike zone. Okay, here we go. This is the first replay. Chameleon in super slow motion, about to eat a roach.
Oh, come on. That tongue's coming out. Oh, that roach has no chance.
He's got it.
Oh! Nice.
Yeah, we got the shot. Got the shot.
Got it.
Yes! Chameleon eating in slow motion.
That is awesome.
Wow. I'm watching the tongue retract back into the mouth with the roach. That is an impressive shot right there.
Chameleons are lethal predators. Their vision is impeccable, and each eye can rotate independently of the other, allowing the reptile to transition between monocular and binocular vision when identifying prey. Combined together, a chameleon's eyes are able to perceive a 360-degree view of the environment. But this animal's most effective weapon is its tongue, which in many cases can be twice the length of its total body. The tongue's firing mechanism is powered by coils of accelerator muscles, and it's the contraction of these muscles that blasts the tongue forward with remarkable precision. A ballistic tongue, now that is a deadly weapon.
So Mario, what's the goal here? We've got a white, flat platform. We've got a very powerful slow motion phantom camera. And who's coming up next onto the turntable?
Bringing a big Pac-Man frog on the table who is hungry for some breakfast. Hopefully he's gonna snatch up a mealworm in slow motion.
Take a look at this guy.
He's so chunky and cute.
He's albino.
Is he really?
Yeah, it's unique. Normally they're actually kind of like a greenish brown color, but this is a genetic mutation.
Wow, he looks just like Pac-Man. That couldn't be any more perfect.
Now, the frog is going to see the movement of the mealworm, and that's what's going to trigger him to have a feeding response and actually lunge forward and grab it.
Oh, that was incredible.
Prepare to have your mind boggled. We're about to enter the strike zone.
Oh, we got
There it is.
Yes. Yes. Dude, that was sweet. Oh, that's crazy.
I think I like it in reverse.
In reverse is better, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, watching it in reverse is almost cooler than watching it in forward motion. Have you ever seen a Pac-Man frog puke up a mealworm?
In the wild, camouflage serves these predators best, and the name of the game is ambush. Just the slightest movement will catch the attention of this frog and provoke a strike. As the amphibian launches forward, the mouth opens and deploys a large sticky tongue that aids in the capture of its desired victim. There's no escaping this fleshy death trap, and if you find yourself stuck, you are most certainly going to be swallowed alive.
All right, we are officially moving on to our next animal, which things are going to get a little bit more dangerous. I believe next we're going to bring in something called the creepy hand, which is a latex rubber hand that we're going to actually insert into the mouth of an alligator snapping turtle. Now, I know you guys always love seeing me bitten by things, but today for this episode, we are going to show you what it's like to have an alligator snapping turtle chomp down on a latex hand, creepy hand. Do you think it's gonna actually chomp and cut through fingers?
I don't know.
Quite possibly. Stay tuned. That's coming up next. So it's not the biggest alligator snapping turtle in the world, but size doesn't always matter when it comes to getting your fingers stuck in the mouth of turtles' jaws.
Now, you mentioned it's not a very big turtle, but
Right.
in our experience, the juveniles sometimes have the sharpest beaks, or at least they look like they're more angular. So
Right.
I think it's going to do some damage.
Well, snapping turtles have razor sharp jaws, and we're gonna see what those jaws do to the creepy hand. All right, Casey, let us know when you're ready.
And I'm pretty set here.
Ooh. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
Well, I think that answers that question really fast.
So here's what just happened. That is a finger chomped off by a juvenile alligator snapping turtle. Now, it's important to note that there's no bone structure within this hand, but it is the same consistency as human flesh used by tattoo artists to practice. That damage was legit.
Yeah, I honestly did not expect that. I thought this was going to last a little longer.
Yeah. Well, we still got 4 fingers to go. Casey, how did that shot look?
It looked pretty good here. I
Okay.
think we'll be happy with it.
Okay, well, let's go for a couple more takes and then we'll review the footage. I'm just gonna take this finger and put it in my pocket. So on this one, let's try the same thing with the hand coming into the side. Let's turn it so that it grabs
like
onto the
this.
thumb.
Okay, Casey, you ready?
Phantom set.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, 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 full thumb. Did you get that shot, Casey?
I got it.
All right, guys, let's go to the monitors and review the slow motion strike of the alligator snapping turtle. Okay, hand going into the turtle's mouth.
Glad that is not my hand.
Oh no! Holy cow! You can see how that one finger got caught in the side of the jaws. Creepy hand just got demolished. Wow.
I saw the membrane.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, that might be the shot of the day. So if you were a human, that is what is so catastrophic when it comes to damage with a snapping turtle bite. The second you think that the turtle's starting to let go and you try to pull your hand out, it clamps down tighter. The amount of pain you would be in right now if you were a human with your thumb in the mouth of an alligator snapping turtle is, I don't think words can describe what that pain would be like.
Hailing as the largest freshwater turtle species in North America, these reptiles can reach weights of over 200 pounds. And while size may be impressive to some, it's the speed of its strike that is considered lethal. Using a technique known as lingual luring, this turtle has a veriform appendage, that little worm-looking wiggly thing, that it uses to attract unsuspecting fish. What was possibly an easy meal becomes an instantaneous death trap as the turtle's hooked beak and razor-sharp jaws come slamming down so fast that the fish has no idea it's gone from hunter to eaten. Nature is primal, and when it comes to having a meal, if you aren't poised to seize an opportunity, you might go the day on a hungry stomach. Predators are designed to be efficient killing machines, and I think it's fair to say that you can truly appreciate the lethal nature of their strikes in slow motion.
I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave and stay out of the strike zone.
Brave wilderness has become culturally synonymous with animal bites and stings. In the name of science and entertainment, I've taken on my fair share of painful encounters.
Oh, it's stuck in my arm!
But some bites are far too dangerous when it comes to human trial. So that is where technology comes in. We have teamed up with Ohio HD, one of the Midwest's premier production houses. Renowned for their arsenal of high-end equipment, they are considered experts in executing creative ideas with specialized solutions. And today, we are combining our talents to bring you into the strike zone.
On this episode, we're going to take you into the slow-motion strike zone of the mangrove snake and the water moccasin.
To capture these predator strikes, we will be using a Phantom high-speed camera, capable of capturing 1,000 frames per second at full 4K resolution. Then, by slowing down the footage, we will be able to closely analyze and break down why these strikes are so effective and ultimately lethal.
Wow. Here we go!
Also joining our party is the Bolt high-speed Cinebot, which can go from standstill to high-speed motion in a fraction of a second. Yep, it's a robot with a camera for a head that can move faster than a human. Trust me, I was just as impressed as you are. Now, before we enter the strike zone, first, let me introduce our fearless wildlife experts, Mario Aldecoa and Mike Easter. They will help to ensure that everything goes according to plan. Remember, safety for the animals and our crew is always the #1 priority.
There you have it. The cast of characters is set. So if you guys are ready, let the strikes begin.
Okay, that's good. Let's turn it.
So where we're gonna set this up is right here on this amazing tree branch sculpture. Now, Mario, are you setting up for somebody's birthday?
No, it's no one's birthday. This is a prop. It is a balloon. And we are going to use this to entice a snake to strike out and hopefully pop the balloon in slow motion.
Okay, what snake species is going to be striking at this balloon?
We're going to be using a mangrove snake. It is a mildly venomous colubrid from Southeast Asia.
Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens.
Oh, that's really good. All right.
This is gonna be it.
This, of course, does not hurt the snake in any way. The only injury will come to the balloon. Okay, ready? 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 Is that good?
Oh, that was the one. That was it. Wow. Okay, so careful with your camera right there. The snake is still in strike pose. That was a good strike. That was pretty cool. That noise was loud inside of the studio, too.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, it's time to enter the strike zone.
Okay, this is the moment. This is where we review the footage to find out if we got the strike. Man, the shot is crisp. Look at the snake. His mouth is already gaped open. Here comes the balloon into the shot.
He's going.
It seems like it lasts forever. I expected it to come so much quicker.
Casey, nice. I see you're panning up.
Yep.
That's perfect. That's great.
Yeah, you can actually see the teeth hanging down from the roof of his mouth.
The anticipation.
1,000 frames a second lasts a long time. Here comes the strike. Here it comes. Wow, that was incredible. Oh, that is one heck of a shot right there.
Yeah.
Dancing in the treetops is no challenge for this arboreal reptile, and what's more terrifying is that this killer usually hunts at night. Combining its excellent vision to pick up on even the slightest movement, it's then the snake's forked tongue that ultimately helps this lethal predator zero in and lock its strike. The S-shaped stance allows the reptile to spring forward, and if the strike is successful, it will hold on to the prey and begin to chew, maneuvering the victim toward its rear fangs, where a mild venom is slowly injected. To humans, this bite is not fatal, but to birds, small mammals, and lizards, this is a very slow and agonizing end.
All right, guys, water moccasin is coming on to set.
Already got the gape going.
Oh, already in strike pose. Oh,
That's
look at
nice.
that. We've got this log situation set up here, and the hopes is that the water moccasin's going to coil right here, and then we are going to slowly add in a warm water balloon and see if those heat-seeking pits are capable of striking out and giving us quite the show. Think this is gonna work?
Well, we got the mangrove snakes to strike. Supposedly water moccasins are a lot more aggressive. I think this is gonna work.
Well, let's see some action. We want a water moccasin strike in slow-mo. Casey, how's that framing look for you?
I'm feeling good here.
Okay. Mike, we feel good about the snake?
Feel good.
Okay. And I think we're ready. Oh! Wow, what just happened?
He struck at the balloon.
I forgot about the water actually.
Wow. So with virtually insane speed, that snake struck out, those fangs hit the balloon, an explosion of air and water everywhere. That was going to be one very epic slow motion shot. You feel good about that, Casey?
I love that.
Oh, if Casey likes it, I like it. All right, I say let's review the clip. This is it, reviewing the footage of the water moccasin strike. Look at that, tongue flicking in and out. Casey, this frame is absolutely perfect. Here we go.
He's gonna
Oh!
Wow.
Boom. Oh! That was amazing. That water added an unbelievable effect. Dude, Casey, that might have been the best shot of the day right there.
Distinguished by its stocky build and semi-aquatic nature, this New World pit viper is an accurately lethal striker. Using heat-sensitive pits located between the eyes and nostrils, these sensory organs contain a network of thermal receptors that help detect the heat signatures of prey items. Even in complete darkness, the pits allow them to strike with incredible precision. And like a heat-seeking missile, their bite hits and delivers an explosion of hemotoxic venom. To any prey item, this hit is fatal. To humans, it's a race to the hospital. In slow motion, you can truly appreciate how fast and accurate the strike of a snake can be. It's not an experience you want to have, so remember, pay attention to your surroundings when out hiking, and if you come across a venomous snake, always admire it from a safe distance.
I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave and stay out of the strike zone. Woo! Great job. Hi, I'm Coyote Peterson, and as we all know, I put myself in some pretty crazy scenarios to help educate you about our planet's most misunderstood animals. Recently, we produced an episode titled, I Put My Head into a Box of Spiders. Now, the purpose of this was to help those of you who are afraid of spiders get over your arachnophobia. Today, we're gonna take a look at a different fear, cat's aridophobia, which if you didn't know, is the fear of cockroaches. So to help with this experiment, we've built a little thing that I like to call the Roach table. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Roach table. Now, today's experiment speaks for itself. It's my head inside of a plastic box that we're going to fill with 500 roaches. But this experiment is a little bit different because it's not just me today. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Mike Easter, a longtime friend of mine who is an expert when it comes to reptiles and amphibians. But he, believe it or not, is afraid of roaches and truly, I mean truly suffers from capsaridophobia. So today, we're gonna test out exposure therapy. Now, there may be the chance we get Mike to ultimately hold on to a cockroach. We may even be able to get him inside of the helmet, if we're lucky. But at the very least, exposure therapy is going to help him, hopefully, one day overcome his fear of these, for the most part, harmless creatures. Mike, are you ready for the experiment to begin?
Not really.
No?
No.
You want to just change spots real quick?
I wish you luck, but I want nothing to do with this.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to introduce to the helmet is 10 Madagascar hissing cockroaches, which, as you can guess from their name, come from the island of Madagascar. Now, my associate, Dr. Aldeboa, is going to add these creepy crawly insects on top of my head.
Okay, ready?
Yeah?
Are you ready?
I think I'm as ready as I'm going to get, but let me ask Mike. Mike, are you ready?
It's hard for me to even watch this.
Yeah, this is like a worst case
I
scenario
almost
for
have
you,
to
isn't
look
it?
away.
Now, can you tell everybody out there watching right now, what would it be like for you to be trapped inside of this helmet? What would you be doing at this moment?
I couldn't imagine myself in that position. If I was, I'd be freaking out beyond belief.
Like you would just be in a complete state of frozen
I'd
panic.
actually probably pass out.
You would pass out.
Yeah, I couldn't even think about doing what you're about to do.
Okay, so Mike, if you're ready, let's count down and add some roaches. 3, 2, let the cataridophobia nightmare begin. 3, 2, let the cataridophobia
Cass, is it?
cataridophobia
Castor.
nightmare. That's a tongue twister.
Okay.
Mike, you want to count us down?
No thanks.
It's worth asking. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let the roach nightmare begin. Oh my gosh, that is a really strange feeling. Wow, their legs are sharp. Oh yeah, they're definitely sharp. Yikes! Oh, and the hissing sound. That one in my ear definitely is digging in. Oh gosh, that feels so weird. It is chewing on the edge of my ear. Wow, that is extremely uncomfortable. But their legs allow them to walk up surfaces even as smooth as glass. And you can see we've got one who's just about to escape.
You guys should grab that. Okay, it's out. It's out of the container. You guys know that? It's free.
Is one escaping, Mike? Are you
Yeah, it's
getting nervous?
No, yeah, I don't. Just watching them move makes my skin crawl.
So the fact that one has gotten out of the helmet really makes your skin crawl.
Makes it a little closer to me, which I don't like. No one seems to care.
Mike, you want to come over and put it back in the helmet for me?
Yeah, dude, sure, not a problem.
My goal today would just be to get Mike to hold on to one cockroach. If we could just get that far, it's going to be a big day. I mean, the fact that he's even here watching this experiment is a really good sign. Exposure therapy is the #1 way to start getting over your phobia of anything in life, whether it's an insect, an arachnid, or even something like a clown, which I kind of feel like a clown inside of this box with a bunch of roaches crawling around in my head. Well, 10 hissing cockroaches is definitely a creepy feeling, but I think it's time to up the ante. What do you think, Mike?
I think regardless of my answer, you're going to do it anyway, so go ahead.
Mario, let's add 25 more roaches. Now this species is called the dubia roach, and these will make up the majority of our roach nightmare today. Oh,
Oh, those are fast.
that is a whole nother level. Whole nother level.
Now there's one getting out again. Mario?
Oh my gosh. Wow. I kind of feel like if you've seen one roach, you've seen them all, but believe it or not, and Mike, I bet you didn't know this, there are around 4,600 species of roaches that inhabit our planet, and they can be found on pretty much every single continent.
All right, we got another daily special here. It's about 25. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Now I'm beginning to know what it feels like to have been on Fear Factor. And Mike, here's another little tidbit that you probably didn't know. At one point in time, Joe Rogan actually ate a hissing cockroach as a part of the series. How about that? Mike, you think you could eat a cockroach?
There's not a dollar amount that would convince me to eat a roach. That's gross.
Roach is in the helmet, Roach is outside of the helmet. Mario, let's just flood the helmet with roaches. I think I'm ready at this point. Oh, man. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh gosh, this is so gross.
Ah! Oh my gosh.
So weird.
Oh, they don't smell good. Oh, this is a whole nother level. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, this is, I have chills.
Dude, there's one in your ear. I think it's gonna make it to your brain.
Actually, that's one of the things that people fear the most, is that roaches will come and lay eggs inside of their ears. That is a complete misnomer. It is definitely not going to happen. It smells horrible inside of this right now. Just so you guys know, the helmet is really beginning to stink.
What is going on? Why is this happening?
Mike, as you probably know, the point where most people encounter cockroaches is at night scurrying around their kitchen. The reason that people are so afraid of them is because they are so incredibly fast. In fact, based on their size and leg length, they are one of the fastest terrestrial animals on the planet.
How does that one feel in your ear?
You know, I don't even really notice it that much anymore. Is it in my ear?
It's in your ear.
Yeah, no, it is in my ear. I thought it was in my ear. Not exactly the most comfortable
It's made
scenario.
its home there. It's really grossing me out.
More roaches?
Let's add another 100 and see what happens. It'd be great if you could give me a warning before that happens.
When it rains, it pours.
That's a lot.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's take a second.
Give that one. He's going. Okay. There's one. Just grab that one if you don't mind. I think they fly.
Actually, Mike, technically, almost all roach species are capable of flying.
Oh, awesome.
Wow. The smell on the inside of this box right now is not pleasant. That I can tell you with certainty. The sound of all of those little legs crawling on top of each other and scraping at the glass of the helmet is the weirdest noise. I don't even know how to explain it. It just makes your whole body squirm.
Ready for more?
Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's excited. All right, guys, more roaches. Let me know when so I can close my eyes.
Now, was that enough time?
Mm-hmm. Okay, at this point, we have 500 roaches inside of the helmet. And as you can see, they're not eating me alive. You can see that they're actually more interested in getting away from the front of my face, and that's primarily because I'm breathing out carbon dioxide. They don't want anything to do with that, and they're actually all migrating towards the back of the helmet. And it's pretty interesting. So it goes to show you that roaches actually want nothing to do with you if you're a human. But Mike, at this point, what do you think? Is this really as bad as you thought it was going to turn out to be?
I would say it's not quite as bad as I thought it would be, but this doesn't make me any less fearful of these creepy crawlies.
Well, I gotta tell you, Mike, I'm at least proud of you for going through the exposure therapy today of me getting inside of the roach table and having 500 of these creepy crawlies put on top of my head. Like I said earlier, guys, exposure therapy is definitely the best way to overcome some of your phobias. Start by just witnessing something visually, and if you're brave enough, work your way up from there by eventually interacting with whatever that fearsome thing might be. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. Mario, I think I'm ready to come out of the roach table.
Arachnophobia. It's one of the most commonplace fears in the world and is simply defined as an intense, irrational fear of spiders. Now, for anyone that suffers this phobia, the term irrational is pretty much irrelevant because even the tiniest spider can easily seem the size of a dinosaur. Experts say the best way to get over your fear of something is exposure therapy. In the case of spiders, it would be looking at pictures, or even the arachnids themselves. Well, I've decided to take the concept of exposure therapy to the next level. They say, go big or go home. I say, if you can't go all the way, there's no point in even beginning.
Spiders. They proudly hail as one of our planet's most feared, yet most misunderstood species. Now, a large percentage of you out there watching right now likely have arachnophobia. Now, when it comes to spiders, I've worked with many species in the past, including tarantulas, black widows, and even this species that you see right here, the giant golden orb weaver. Now, in the past, I actually free-handled the spider to prove that these giants aren't necessarily out to get you. And if you accidentally run into one in the wild, you aren't necessarily going to be bitten. Now, today what we're going to do is create the ultimate arachnophobic nightmare scenario. We've built what I call the spider helmet, which is a clear plastic capsule that will go over the top of my head. And inside, we're going to place not one, but 20 giant golden orb weaver spiders. Now, it's important to note that all spiders have fangs, all spiders are venomous, and all spiders are capable of biting. Once the capsule is in place and it's locked, I won't have any use of my hands, which means that I will not be in control. That ultimately means that anything is possible. And if I'm bitten, I'm not going to be able to stop the bites from coming. Okay, this is it. The moment you have been waiting for. The reason you clicked on this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Coyote Peterson, and this is the spider helmet. I need to try to keep my heart rate as low as I possibly can and talk as little as possible so that I'm not steaming up the box.
All right, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
All right,
Wait. You got all the spiders?
they're ready to go.
They're ready to go.
I gotta go.
Okay, how many do we have in there?
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, of course it's a lot. Now, before we get into the entertainment side of things, first we need to give you an education about this super cool creepy crawly.
Commonly known as the golden silk orb weaver, its namesake originates from the golden color of its extremely strong web, which helps to draw in and entangle a variety of victims. Some reports even document these giants eating small birds. Yep, you heard me right, a spider so big it can eat birds. And is considered one of the most widespread spider species. They commonly inhabit tropical regions and love the same beautiful vacation spots you likely dream of visiting. Females are significantly larger than males and can reach several inches in length, the perfect size for spindly drumming up nightmares. But it's only fair to mention that they are not aggressive toward humans and their venom is very mild. So unless you plan on running face first into their webs, or sticking your head in a box full of them, realistically, you should have nothing to fear.
All right, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
All right. Okay, they're crawling all over. Nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. We got some webbing already.
Oh my gosh, this is the craziest feeling ever.
You all right? Okay.
Please don't bite me, please don't bite me.
Go.
Okay.
Stage is set.
Okay. My goal is to try to stay in here for several minutes. And I'm opening my eyes. Oh wow, that is about as creepy a feeling as it gets. I can feel all of those hooked legs crawling all over me. Okay, I see the spiders are completely surrounding my face at this point. Okay, they are crawling up the back of my head right now. These little legs are really sharp. Okay, I've got one coming right up over the top of my head now. I imagine if you're still watching this video at this point, you are in a state where your skin is absolutely crawling. You can only imagine how I feel right now. Oh boy. Now, what's crazy about the golden orb weavers, they spin these incredibly strong webs, and I can actually feel the webbing is now all entangling the back of my head. I got a spider right in my face. It's walking right up the side of my face. It is so hard to not try to swat at my face. See this? I want to do this. I want to shoo them away from me, but I can do absolutely nothing at this point other than to try to stay completely still. If you think sticking my hands into an aquarium full of piranhas or sea lamprey was creepy, this definitely is the next level. Well, my head has been encapsulated by the spider helmet now for several minutes. And at this point, I haven't taken a single bite. I hope that this extreme arachnophobic experiment has helped display that spiders, while creepy, aren't necessarily aggressive toward humans. If you come across a spider in your near future, stay calm, simply walk in the opposite direction, and both you and the spider will carry on a happy existence. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. Guys, I think I'm ready to take off the spider helmet.
I bet you clicked on this video because immediately you thought, there is no way Coyote Peterson is going this far to teach us about animals. Sure, I've done some pretty crazy things over the years, but the Coyote Pack knows I perform these stunts because they're an entertaining way to learn about the animals we don't understand. Spiders are amazing creatures. Let them do what they do, and I promise the natural world will be a better place. I know that by wearing a spider helmet, I'm not going to be the silver bullet that cures your fear of spiders. But if you have arachnophobia and you bravely watch this video, then you have taken a huge step by embracing exposure therapy. And for that, I am proud of you.